Merry Christmas. I hope you have all had a chance by now to view the Christmas Eve family service video that was aired on YouTube on Christmas Eve at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. If you haven't watched it yet, I would invite you to do so. You can find it on our YouTube channel. What you want to do is go to YouTube and then search for Grace Lutheran Church, Albert Lea, Minnesota. And there you'll find the video of that family service, the 3 o'clock service, archived amongst our other videos there. Within that service, we premiered the youth Christmas program, A Christmas Celebration, which was a musical that I wrote for our congregation this past fall. The project from start to finish consumed my waking hours for well over a couple hundred hours. But those hours were some of the most rewarding time that I have spent during this pandemic. Looking through the list of photos and videos in my iPhone, I must have clocked over 40 hours of video footage, which I was then able to tap into in order to create the 21-minute video presentation. I thought it would be a lot of fun and maybe even a little instructive for you if I would share the steps that went into making this video. The project started, as most creative ventures do, with a blank piece of paper. The first step was to write the lyrics to each of the 7 songs. The first and last song are an arrangement of the carol, O Come Little Children, whose words were written by a German author of various children's stories and an educator, Christoph von Schmidt, in 1798. It has been customarily paired to the tune Ihr Kinderlein kommet by Johann Abraham Peter Schulte, a German musician from the same era. I set this song in an upbeat, celebratory manner with a Disney-like theme that reappears as song number 6, the Gloria in Excelsis Deo. The theme came to me so easily that I second-guessed whether or not I was borrowing a Disney melody that already existed, and I would have to start over. I contacted my friend and colleague, Mary Beeson, the director of choral music at Southwest Middle School, and I sang it to her over the phone. After she laughed in her Mary Beeson way, she assured me that though it did bear some resemblance to parts of Aladdin and parts of The Little Mermaid, she didn't think it was blatant plagiarism. So I decided I was safe to go ahead with it. The next step was to take my handwritten scribbles and enter the notes into my music engraving software, Finale. Once the lead sheets were created, I began the process of orchestrating each song. This is a lot of fun, but it is extremely time-consuming. I have to select each sound I want. I have to enter it note by note. And then through the magic of a technology known as MIDI, I edit, and edit in order to get everything to line up and sound just right. Then when I'm pleased with how it sounds, I recorded my voice singing each part. The next step was I posted all of this material, the music, the words, and then the melodies, the orchestrated accompaniments, on our church's website so that people could access the information. And then the recruitment process started. Youth were recruited to join the chancel choir in becoming the actors and singers for this production. We gathered weekly during the Wednesday chancel choir rehearsals, sometimes face-to-face and sometimes over Zoom, and then also for several Sunday morning Sunday school Zoom gatherings, where I taught the children each of the songs. During the final week of rehearsal, I invited participants to become specific characters in the production. In the script, there were speaking parts and even a few solos. Thankfully, the youth accepted my casting requests. I couldn't have been more proud of each of them. I think you would agree. They each did a fabulous job. Now it was time to begin recording the actual video footage. The first effort at filming was to feature a procession of children coming to Bethlehem, or in our case, through the prayer garden on the side lawn, where the stable built for the performance by Darren LaFrance sat empty and waiting for the story to be told. The filming for this scene was to be our one and only whole cast filming opportunity. We gathered together on a crisp Saturday morning and with Pastor Jennifer's help, each of the cast members were fitted with their costumes. Once everyone was in their costumes, we started the videotaping. Since we're still living during a pandemic, we maximized our safety by wearing masks and limiting our singing to 10-minute recording sessions, after which we dispersed throughout the lawn and let the air clear before beginning to tape again. In all, it was one efficient hour of taping, and the kids' energy really shone through in the final product. And yes, I even climbed a large ladder for that from a distance shot. Next time I'll have to consider borrowing someone's drone instead of climbing the ladder. One of the highlights of the recording process was trying to work with baby Jesus, Ari, whom we had wanted to record sleeping in the manger. Unlike the familiar carol, Away in a Manger, which references that the little Lord Jesus, no crying he makes, it was clear that it was not going to be the same predicament here. Ari just kept reaching out to his mother. "I'm not laying in that thing with that itchy grass," was clearly running through Ari's mind.
They're singing songs about you.
It was obvious to me that I was going to need a plan B, and I was going to need it quickly, or we were going to have to resort to a plastic doll for Jesus instead of Ari. And then the solution came to me. I sent the manger home with Ari's mom, Sheila, who over the course of the next week captured those priceless manger shots that formed the basis of much of song number 5, if I knew then what I know now. As Ari became more and more familiar and comfortable with the itchy grass, Sheila would capture footage. Each day, Sheila would send me a couple of new shots, and each one reflected a more relaxed Ari Jesus. Aside from these full cast scenes, I created a master list of each of the various additional footage that would be required to tell the story. I began recording each and every bit of it, or gathering public domain video from the internet for some of the scenes.
Good. Now go back to sleep and do it again.
Joseph, I think I'm gonna have the baby.
And then the next week was spent recording each child, one at a time, in the sanctuary in front of the Christmas tree. Each youth wore a set of headphones so that only their voice would be recorded with each take that we took. I really enjoyed this step. I got to spend this time with each of the youth, coaxing them to give me the best video and audio footage that they could produce, which really captured their unique attributes of both their talent and each of their personalities. We tried to make each session last only a half hour. Efficiency was the key, and with the help of my daughter Cammie, we filmed various angles simultaneously, so we would have a lot of video material, a lot of options to work with in the editing process. Then separate taping sessions were held to capture the outdoor scenes of Mary, the scenes of Mary and Joseph, the innkeeper, and those adorable scenes featuring Travis as Angel Gabriel.
And suddenly the angels appeared.
The footage of the shepherds, which appears prior to song number 6, Gloria in Excelsis, was filmed on the yard of Hawthorne Elementary. Again, daughter Cammie helped me by turning on her bright lights at just the right moment to simulate the arrival of the angels.
Leave them on. Okay, now wait, I want Axel to get up and go tap on Jack to wake him up. Okay, sit back down, Axel. For the scene, I want to see you get up, okay?
Oh, we're just practicing it?
Well, yeah, I'm just getting a lot of different footage. We're going to go back to sleep now. The lights have just come on. The angels have appeared.
How would I actually sleep till
Okay, Axel, I need you over a little more. You're off camera. That's better. Now you're sleeping. Okay. Wake up. Now go.
Finally, the last youth was recorded, and the critical recording process was complete.
Jack, stand up. Everybody stand up. Go walk over towards Jack, Axel. Make a motion to come with me.
We would begin taping each segment with an audio alignment count-in, We would say 1, 2, 3, and then we would clap. This step was key in getting each voice lined up in the audio and the video editing phase. So now, armed with an iPhone full of files, I hold up in my home recording studio where I spliced each submission one by one into the previously recorded backing tracks to create the final audio mix. This took hours. Many days and late nights followed, but I could already tell that the final product was going to be magical. This, too, is a tedious process. I relied mostly on my iPad Pro and the Apple iMovie app to edit the video. I'm so grateful that I had the companionship of my video editing buddy Grogu, who would keep me company while I would wait for files to both upload and download to and from the cloud. Building the collage scene, which appears in song number 2, the Be Not Afraid Mary, took me over 20 hours to get each singer to line up just right. But I think you would agree the final outcome was worth it. The last step to finish the project was to add the fully edited audio into the video material and make sure everything was correctly aligned and sequenced. After a few more complete proofreading views on my big screen television in our family room, I was able to save the finished product to YouTube, where it now safely lives among our other archived videos. I will forever remember and cherish this project. Each of the steps of the creation of it was holy time. In spite of the pandemic, with the energetic youth's talent and personalities, we told the familiar story of Jesus' birth in a new and exciting way that I'm so proud of. I want to take this time to say thank you to all who helped in the creation of A Christmas Celebration. I hope you too will cherish this project like I do for many years to come. Maybe even someday you'll want to share it with your own children. Merry Christmas.
3, 2, 1.
Welcome, baby Jesus!